Okay, so today I got these videos. We are gonna be reacting to his story. Yeah, his story. This guy is probably my least favorite YouTuber, but I'm reacting to him. So yeah. So first link, my son saved my life. Okay. Why don't we just paste this in then? Right foot, right there.
I was 400 pounds and waiting for my son to come out of school when his classmate laughed. "Dude, is that your dad? He's literally built like a fridge." Another friend tripped him up and laughed when he fell. "Maybe if your dad wasn't so fat, he could actually help you up without using his walking cane." I looked at my 400-pound self in the mirror and realized something needed to change. That evening, I tried going on my first walk in years, but I only made it to the end of the street before I had to take a break and sit down on the curb, sweat soaked through my shirt, while kids coasted past me on their bikes. Run, Forrest.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest, run.
Run! I got so angry that I immediately got up and started chasing after them, but my knees started crumbling under the pressure of my own weight, and I instantly stopped and turned around. When I got home, I instinctively reached for the family size of Chips Ahoy, unwrapped the blue plastic, and let them melt on my tongue. My mouth was still salivating when my son walked in. His chin started to shake, and his voice cracked. "You're not gonna give up, right, Dad?" I turned red and shoved the cookies into the trash can. "No, son. No, I'm not." After that, I stopped counting the days I wanted to give up and started counting the pounds I was losing instead. 10, then 40, then 100. And a year later, I pulled into the same pickup spot, 140 pounds.
This looks like me, but without the hair. I don't have the gingerbread hair because I'm not a gingerbread.
Pounds lighter. For the first time, I shut off the engine and got out.
Shut off the engine.
Son by the gate. I saw the same boys on the low wall, and this time when they thought I wasn't listening, one of them turned to my son and said, "I still feel bad about what you told us to say about your dad when you knew he was listening." My son stood next to him. "It was worth it. He heard the whole thing about you calling him a fridge, and he changed the next day. Plus, it had to be done. I was eavesdropping when the doctor told him he had less than a year to survive if he didn't start losing weight." My son had tears streaming down his face when he turned towards me and realized I'd been listening the whole time. We locked eyes, and he whispered, "Something had to change. I wasn't gonna let you die." I was 400 pounds and waiting for my son to come out of school when his classmate laughed. "Dude."
Sad. Okay. I'll rate that one like I'll say like a 6.4 out of 10. Yeah, that's my rating on it. My son saved my life. So why don't we just eliminate that right there? Yeah. Let's eliminate that. Right, I saved my dad with. Wait, I saved him with dad jokes. Okay. Okay.
The car jack slipped while Kendrick was under his grandpa's car, and the
oh crap.
whole thing dropped onto him from the waist down. I grabbed the bumper and pulled until my hands shook, but it did not move. His parents were gone, my phone was dead, and I could not.
What would y'all do in this situation? What would y'all do? Would y'all try picking up the car? Like... Would y'all just try picking up the car like... Okay.
Not leave him to get help, so I screamed for the neighbors. Nobody came. I dropped to my knees next to him, shaking. I don't know what to do. His breathing was fast and shallow. "Just stay with me, okay?" His eyes started to drift and I grabbed his hand. I had been stress-telling terrible jokes since my dad's funeral when I was 7, and people had been telling me to stop for my whole life. What happened next was
Hey, why did his story make a channel? Because he's a gingerbread, and gingerbreads cost too much money. So that means he had to make a YouTube channel to keep himself up. Yeah.
was either the worst thing or the best thing I have ever done. What do you call a car that falls on you? His eyes snapped open. Are you serious right now? A crushing disappointment. I am literally dying and you're telling jokes. What do you call a car that won't start? A carps. I hate you so much. His eyes were open and he was angry instead of fading away, so I kept going. Every time his eyes started to drift, I hit him with another one. What do you call a car with no tires? Literally your car right now. I am going to haunt you. You can't die. You still owe me $20. He was laughing and crying and screaming at the same time. I hate you. After 45 minutes, a neighbor pulled into their driveway, saw us, and called 911. I kept telling jokes in the ambulance because I couldn't stop. At the hospital, they rushed him back, and 3 hours later, the doctor came out. If he had lost consciousness, his blood pressure would have dropped, and he would have bled out. The only reason he was alive was because he was so mad about my bad jokes that it kept his blood pressure up. The car jack slipped while Kendrick was under his grandpa's car, and the whole thing dropped onto him from the waist down.
Wait, that's actually kind of crazy, bro. Horrible dad jokes made him rage quit, bro. And the rage quitting was good. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy one right there. Okay, I rate that one a I'm gonna have to rate that one around like a 9 out of 10. Why not a 9 out of 10? I'll rate that a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Okay, now the next one. My dad let the world handle it. I let the world. Oh my god. Okay. What about this one? Is this gonna be a
Me and my dad were waiting in the line at a theme park when a teenager aggressively pushed past us and skipped to the front. I turned to my dad, but he was just humming like he didn't care. Dad, aren't you gonna do something? The teenager heard me and instantly turned around and got in my dad's face. Yeah, aren't you gonna do something, old man? But my dad kept humming and simply replied, the world will do more to you than I ever could, young man. The teenager scoffed. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. He turned around and we all got on the ride. I asked Dad,
wait, that's kind of toxic. That's actually kind of toxic. Oh my god.
why he didn't do something, and he smiled. The world has a way of teaching people. The teenager again heard and laughed, stupid old man, under his breath. But then during the ride, the teenager threw his arms up, and his phone slipped from his pocket and flew through the air. It landed on my dad's lap, and I just stared at it. Are you going to give it back? Dad slipped it into his pocket and smirked. We'll see. We got off the ride, and when the teenager realized his phone was missing, he instantly went pale. He screamed at the ride attendant that the ride needs to be shut down to find his phone. She said she couldn't do that, but he grabbed her radio and called her supervisor. I looked over, and my dad was laughing. The teenager sobbed, looking around the ride for his phone, and calling the employees incompetent for losing it. I asked my dad if he should just give the phone back, but he smiled. Not yet. The kid needs to learn. 10 staff members were now helping him look. He yelled at the park manager that he was going to sue for negligence. The entire park had stopped because of his—
You're suing a damn ride. All because you lost your phone on a ride. Like, oh my. Why do you even have your phone on a roller coaster that is... Oh my god. If you're gonna have your phone in your pocket, don't go on those type of rides like that, or you're literally gonna lose your phone. Like, you're an absolute dumbass. That's your fault.
Because of his meltdown. But then my dad took a step forward. He tapped the teenager's shoulder and suggested he check his pockets. The teenager screamed, "I already checked them," and slapped his pockets to show his phone wasn't there. But then he suddenly felt something. He reached in his pocket and pulled out his phone, the one he'd been looking for. My dad smirked, and I instantly realized my dad had quietly snuck the phone back into the teenager's pocket without him realizing. The park manager asked the teenager, "So, the phone was in your pocket the whole time?" And he went red with embarrassment while the whole park stared. He screamed, "But how is that possible?" My dad smiled at him. "I told you the world will teach you more than I ever could. Next time, don't be such an asshole." He walked away, and the teenager stood there shaking, because in his eyes, his phone was in his pocket the whole time. The world had actually just taught him a lesson. Me and my dad were waiting in the...
That one's kind of crazy. It did make me rage a little bit. Kind of made me rage. I'm gonna have to give that one a I'm gonna have to rate that one like I'm gonna have to rate it at least like I'm gonna rate it a 8.2 out of 10. That's a good rating. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good rating. It could have been lower. Okay, now my daughter cooked me. Okay. I hope he doesn't mean actually cooked, like, you know, like cooked into food. Okay.
I walked past my computer and saw my daughter furiously clicking the keyboard, her fingers slamming every key with power. I leaned over and realized she was typing a comment under a video of a...
That's me. Like, y'all can literally hear me spamming my keyboard all the time.
10-year-old boy playing video games. I'm gonna punch you so hard you're going to cry.
Y'all can literally
I know
hear
where you
me
live.
spamming.
She pressed the enter key, but before I could tell her to stop, I saw something that made me grip my desk. She had posted the comment under my YouTube account, which had videos of me gaming on it. I immediately got her off the chair and opened my comment history.
His story? Not trying to be mean, but you have not made a single gaming video in your life, okay? You make story videos. You've never made a gaming channel. His gaming. YT. Alright, his gaming 01. Okay. Now we know who his gaming is. I think his gaming was like taken down and turned into that channel. So yeah. I'm Minnie.
History, then started hysterically laughing because if I didn't, I would cry. She'd left hundreds of comments under videos of little kids. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm coming for you. I'm hiding in your closet. She had accidentally made it look like me, a 34-year-old, was threatening kids online. I immediately went to start deleting the comments, but then my doorbell rang. 2 officers walked into my house. We need to search your computer. We've heard suspicious activity from it. My legs froze as I led them to my computer, trying to explain everything. But the comment, "You look punchable," was already open under my account, making me look even worse. They glanced once at the screen and began putting cuffs on me. I screamed, "It wasn't me. My daughter left these comments." She came running and begged the officers to believe me, screaming it was her, but they kept walking me out. That's punchable. Was already open.
You look punchable. 2 minutes ago. It was him. It was his story. Oh my god. Nobody clipped that. My forehead. Okay. That's why I need my curly hair. So so my forehead does not get leaked. Oh my god, my forehead's bigger than KSI. Okay. This was 2 minutes ago, right? Yeah, 2 minutes ago. The police couldn't get there immediately after the comments. So that means it was his story who made the comment.
Already open under my account, making me look even worse. They glanced once at the screen and began putting cuffs on me. I screamed, "It wasn't me. My daughter left these comments." She came running and begged the officers to believe me, screaming it was her, but they kept walking me out. That's when I remembered that every time I logged into my PC, my webcam automatically started recording my face for my gaming videos. I begged the cops to check the footage.
Wait. That's not good, actually. Guys, I do this too. When I'm on my PC and I'm just you know, playing games and stuff, I always turn my camera off. Like, y'all want to see me turn my camera off? Like, look. You see, I just turn my camera off when like I'm not like calling anybody, or like when I'm not, you know, when I'm not recording. Like, always turn your camera off. It's not that hard.
They reluctantly pulled it up. We watched my daughter hop in my chair with a grin and type manically for hours at a time. The timestamps of the videos matched when the comments were left. The officers apologized and walked out, and as I started deleting everything, my daughter tapped my shoulder. Was my trolling at least funny, Dad? I walked past my computer and saw my daughter furiously clicking the keyboard.
What did you say? Is your trolling funny? Dang! You almost got you dad arrested because of the comments of you trolling. Why are you asking? Is your trolling good?
Keyboard, her fingers slamming every key with power. I leaned.
0 out of 10. This gets a 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. It made me rage quit so much. That's a 0 out of 10. But now we have I snuck into school at night. Alright. Here's the link.
Our classroom bearded dragon Godzilla hadn't moved all week because his heat lamp was flickering and his water dish was empty. I raised my hand. Mr. Dawson, Godzilla's lamp is still broken and he needs water. He didn't even look up from his desk. I'll get to it. He'd been saying...
Why is he named Godzilla? Why is he named Godzilla? Why? Why? Hey! Hey, why is his name Godzilla? Can you rename him, please? Why is his name Godzilla? I don't like that name. Also, can you fix his lamp? And also, can you get him some, whatever it's called? But yeah, oh my god. Okay, bye. Like, bruh.
Saying that for 3 days straight, and winter break started tomorrow, so there would be no one checking on Godzilla for 2 full weeks. I clenched my fists, sick of watching him suffer while nobody did anything about it. That's when I decided if nobody else was going to save him, I would. Late that night, I picked the classroom window lock, climbed through, and grabbed...
Yo, you're going to jail. You're going to jail if you do that, bro. Guys, don't
Godzilla's
do this,
tank.
okay?
It was heavier than I expected, and I'd only made it halfway down the hall when a flashlight hit me from behind. Freeze. I turned around slowly, shaking because I was sure I was about to get in huge trouble. The janitor lowered his light, studying the tank. Then Godzilla curled inside it. Is that the lizard from Mr. Dawson's room? I nodded, my heart slamming so hard I could feel it in my throat. Instead of reaching for his radio, he grabbed the other end of the tank. Let me help you. This thing's heavier than it looks. We carried it out to the parking lot together, and as we loaded it into my car, he tapped the glass. I complained about that lamp myself 3 times. Nobody ever listens to the janitor either. I took Godzilla home.
Yo, the janitor does not get paid that much. That's why nobody likes the janitor. But like, the janitors are nice, bro.
Home and hooked him up with a new heat lamp and a full bowl of water. When school started back up, Mr. Dawson stormed into first period. Furious, the tank was gone. Which one of you took Godzilla? No.
Which one of y'all took Godzilla? I'm about to knock you out with a knuckle sandwich, okay? Which one of y'all stole Godzilla's?
Nobody said a word. Then he glared at me. You were the one complaining about him before break. Was it you? My heart pounded. I don't know what you're talking about. He slammed his hand on his desk hard enough to make the whole class jump. This is theft. I want him back.
This is theft. I want him back right now so I can threaten him. I am the teacher here. Yeah, so you better... Shut your mouth up, bro. Nobody's giving you Godzilla back. That's basically animal abuse, actually. Ain't that basically... I'm pretty sure that's animal abuse. I'm pretty sure. Wait! No! It's 4:30! Okay, I need to calm down.
Back today. Before I could say anything, the janitor appeared in the doorway. Actually, I helped an anonymous student move him because his lamp had been broken for over a month, and I've got the reports to prove it. Mr. Dawson opened his mouth to respond, but the janitor held up his hand to stop him. The principal wants to see you. Now, Mr. Dawson's face went pale as he followed the janitor out, and the whole class turned to stare at me. I just smiled. Wasn't me. Our classroom bearded dragon Godzilla.
Okay, all because his story said at the end, he said, okay, at the end, his story said, wasn't me. That made me like this video way more. So all because of that, this is a 10 out of 10. Yes, the first 10 out of 10. But now, we have, I labeled it fish! Okay, last video. Why don't we react to it?
My teacher looked at my drawing, covered her
Holy crap.
mouth, and ran out of the room screaming. Our assignment was to draw
Holy fat chud. Holy fat chud! I can tell this kid plays Fortnite!
something that makes us happy, so I drew me and my dad fishing at the lake, something we do every Saturday. I picked up my paper to see what she saw. 2 stick figures, a fishing rod, a lake, a building that said Larry's Bait and Tackle, and a fish that I...
She probably thought the fish was like some kind of... If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Even labeled fish in case there was any confusion. I had no idea what I did wrong. She came back with 2 security guards, still screaming, grabbed my drawing off.
7! 7! 7! 7! 7, 7, for real though. If y'all don't know the meme, yeah, don't know the meme, okay? Well, like, 7, 7 is all I gotta say.
Off my desk and pointed at me like I was dangerous. They walked me out without saying a word and sat me down in Principal Carter's office. He had my drawing under a desk lamp like he was examining a ransom note. He looked up. Explain this. I told him it's me and my dad fishing at the lake. He pointed at my stick figure's hand. You're telling me this is a fishing rod when I'm looking at a weapon. I told him there's a line coming off it with a fish on the end, and I literally wrote the word fish next to it. Mrs. Keller leaned in. It looks like he's aiming at the building. I told her it's Larry's Bait and Tackle where we buy worms, and he's facing the water because that's where fish live, and that's how fishing works. Okay. I didn't understand how every adult in the room was looking at a fish and seeing a threat. Principal Carter picked up his phone and called my dad. Mr. Davis, your son drew an image that appears to depict a school shooting. We need you here immediately. I sat there staring at my drawing, wondering how I ended up here. My dad showed up still in his work shirt with dirt on his hands and stopped in the doorway. Where is he? What did he draw? Principal Carter slid the drawing across the desk, and my dad picked it up, stared at it, and laughed. Not a chuckle.
This train is going to crash into these 5 people. Should we move the train to go this way?
My teacher
Are you serious right now?
Wondering. Me standing in front of Larry's Bait and Tackle.
Right, replay it.
Drew an image that appears to depict a school shooting. We need you here immediately. I sat there staring at my drawing, wondering how I ended up here. My dad showed up still in his work shirt with dirt on his hands and stopped in the door.
Holy aura. Bro's mogging.
The doorway. Where is he? What did he draw? Principal Carter slid the drawing across the desk, and my dad picked it up, stared at it, and laughed. Not a chuckle, a full laugh. This is from last Saturday. He pulled
That's not last Saturday.
out his phone, turned it around, and the photo was right there. Me standing in front of Larry's Bait and Tackle holding my fishing rod.
That looks so AI. If some random dad showed me that and I'm the principal, I'm literally suspending both
Same building.
Cause like that looks so AI. Oh my god.
Same
it's so
rod,
AI.
same everything. He looked at the principal. Is everyone in this room slow? My son drew a fish, labeled it fish, drew a fishing rod, drew a bait shop, and you looked at that and saw a school shooting. Nobody said anything. You pulled my son out of class and called me at work because not one adult in this building stopped and said, hey, maybe that's a fishing rod. Mrs. Keller stared at the floor, and Principal Carter had nothing. My dad put the drawing in his pocket. We're done here. Let's go. Next art class, I drew Mrs. Keller and labeled it donkey in case there was any confusion. My teacher...
Holy comeback! Holy comeback! You called your teacher a donkey? Wait, what is... I want to see what it looks like. Hold up.
And labeled it donkey in case there was any confusion.
Holy shiz. Oh my god! You know what?
Confusion.
That's a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10. You know what? Let me show you what a web... What? Okay. Alright, look what a weapon looks like. This is what a weapon looks like, okay? Okay, I'm going in the corner right now. Let me show you what a weapon looks like. This is what a weapon looks like. This is... Never mind, I suck at drawing. This is what a weapon looks like. Do you see this? This is what a weapon looks like, okay? This is what weapons look like most of the time. This is what like a weapon looks like. That you can tell that's a sword. Actually, never mind. You can't tell that's a sword. That looks like something else. I'm cooked. I'm cooked right now. Okay. I'm getting canceled, but I'm out. See ya. So if you enjoyed that, make sure to subscribe. So yeah. Wait a minute. Oh my god! Wait, whoa! Never mind. Bye bye. I'm out history.